Is it warm in here, or am I going through menopause? No, I'm kidding. I'm wondering what the thermostat is set at. Hi, come on in. Okay, Hannah, we are ready to go. It's a little warm in here. Yeah, kind of sounds like it is, but that might be the mill next door. What? It's going to warm up because we have bodies in the room. So. Not too cold though, right, hon? You've got it at a good temperature? Let's make sure it's not going to... Perfect, 75. Awesome. Okay, good. Okay. Somebody likes European time. They set my clock at European time. Must have been Mr. McLeod. He seems like a European time kind of guy. How many people were here for Ken MacLeod's series on the Diamond Sutra? Raise your hand. Hi, I'm proud. Yeah, was that mind-blowing? Yeah. I was able to watch some of it. It looked amazing. What a diamond jewel, gem of a guy. What a great fortune you and we all had here at the Alembic to have such a senior teacher. I don't know if it's still streamable, but if you didn't have a chance to watch it, I would recommend even just watching some of it, just to get a sense of a master teacher. Really fine teaching. He's really one of the OG in Tibetan Buddhist translators, Western Dharma teacher, translators. He's a fine scholar and teacher, very thoughtful, kind. Hi. And he reminds me a lot of one of my mentors, Alan Wallace. They're kind of the same ilk. So I felt at home watching him teach. Very wonderful. Okay, so for those of you, how many here are brand new to the Alembic for the very first time? Wow, lots of people. Great, welcome you guys. How many people have studied with me before? A couple of you, right? Yeah, you look familiar, but just reading. Yeah, sure. Great. Okay, well, just in case you have no idea who I am, you're like, wait, where am I? I am Chandra Easton. This is my normal time slot. I took a summer hiatus to rest and recuperate and do some traveling and teaching. I have been teaching Dharma for about 20 years. And I'm a writer, translator of Tibetan language, and written a book that just came out in December on women in Tantric Buddhism called Embodying Tara, 21 Manifestations to Awaken Your Innate Wisdom. So it's on women in Buddhism. Amber, hey. We were just on retreat together. So yeah, it's been quite a journey. And I am also want to tell you guys, in full disclosure, I am healing from a spine injury. I am healing. That's the important part of that sentence. I am healing. I promise. And so I might from time to time have to teach from a supine position. I have broken the supine wall in my own head, in my own mind. It took me a while. And of course, it's easy as a teacher to say, it's fine to lie down and meditate. It's one of the 4 positions that the Buddha taught. Maybe not all teachers will tell you that, but it's true. Lying, seated, standing, and walking, the 4 primary positions for mindfulness, for meditation practice. But I want to let you in on a secret. Basically, that's code for everything you do. practicing in everything we do. It's not like, oh, I'm sitting on the cushion and then I get up and I can be stressful and get up and rush around and be an asshole, like 4 positions are code for like, let's bring it all on the path. So we can meditate lying down if we're healing from spine surgery, spine injury caused by spine surgery. Excuse me, that wasn't in the plan. But life, as a lot of us know, it doesn't always happen as we plan. So what do? We practice Dharma. We practice, come on everybody who's been studying with me for a long time, what do? Tonglen. We practice bringing it all on the path, right? We bring it all on the path. The joys and the sorrows. We bring it all on the path. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're also going to talk about finding our yes in the midst of samsara. Yeah. And that's kind of another way of saying like the oh fuck. Like incarnation, what were we thinking? I didn't think of that joke. That's one of my teachers, Jennifer Wellwood. She came up with that one. It's pretty good. Incarnation. What were we thinking? Oh my God. So how do we find our groove? How do we find our yes? How do we find the joy? And then how do we even find the yes in the midst of the no? How do we mature, right? How do we face the things that are hard to face? How do we say I'm sorry when I don't want to say I'm sorry? How do we admit we made a mistake when we know we made a mistake, but we don't want to admit we made a mistake, right? So this is all Dharma. This is all the path. So whether we're doing it lying down, seated, walking, standing, showering, shitting, cooking, changing diapers, driving, having sex, signing up for releasing into presence, driving home, dream yoga-ing, whatever we're doing, as much as we can. Oh yeah, I can breathe. I can notice my gripping, my clinging, or my aversion. What did the Buddha say? Release into presence. Can we just feel the spaciousness that's possible in the midst of the panic, this breath, this anxiety, this pain. This pain, the pain is a label, right? Pain is a thing that we label. But really, if we hone into it, we realize, oh, it's another sensation. It's vibrating. It's shifting. It might have a shape, a color, a texture. It's not a thing. So Dharma teaches how to practice with everything. So somebody in the bathroom was very sweet. She said, this is my first time, and full disclosure, I'm really scared because I just learned that it's an hour and a half long. And I realized, oh, she thinks we might be meditating for an hour and a half. And I realized I would be scared too, so I thought I would take the opportunity to give you the map of the night. For those of you, especially a lot of you are new, we don't meditate. I would not do that to you. I can't do that right now. So we're not going to be meditating the full time here. So we'll meditate for about 35 minutes. Usually in my class, the maximum we sit is 45 minutes. Usually it's between 30 and 45 minutes. I always give you the option to do a supine position, seated, chair. So you can always work with your circumstances. Usually we'll do a little movement before we sit tonight, so you can kind of shake it out, shake off your work day a little bit. And then we have discussion, Dharma talk at the end. Sometimes, like right tonight, I haven't seen you in a while. I feel like talking in the beginning. So there's a basic structure, but there's always some fluidity and some improv in response to the group. So, who's here? You're here. It's a miracle. I'm here. It's a miracle. We're breathing. How are you doing? You okay? You feeling okay? You good? How many people are feeling, yes, yes, yes? You feeling a little yes right now? A little bit yes? How many people are feeling like, no, I'm having a hard time right now? That's allowed too. It's okay. Yeah, I'm getting some of that too. It's okay. So how many are kind of like a mix of like, yes, no, yes, no. That's okay too. And how many people don't really know what the hell you're feeling right now? I have some of that sometimes too, yeah. Okay, good. So we're going to dive into that a little bit more. Like what is she talking about? Finding the yes in samsara. And this will be the theme for the rest of August and into September. And there are a lot of ways we can explore this within Dharma as a whole, but also within Lojong. So I'm going to be kind of popcorning through the remaining mind training instructions because we've been moving through them. There are 59 total, and we're a little more than halfway through. But we're kind of in the home stretch where a lot of these one-liner instructions, these classic teachings of what are called the mind training instructions, that we're kind of getting into like, do this, don't do that. Some of them are juicy and fun, and others are kind of obvious. So I'm not going to like each week do one. I might pick the highlights. So we're going to move through the rest of these pretty quickly. And then we'll move on to some other stuff. Okay? All right. So let's just stand up right now. Let's move. I think a lot of you have been sitting at desks or in cars. And this is, sometimes I guide stuff and other times I just let you do whatever you want. So I'm going to offer some things. Let's spread out. Maybe the front row can step forward a little bit. Other folks can step forward or off to the side. Just feel around you. Make sure if you reach around, you're not going to hit anybody. Let's reach overhead and just feel into what your body wants. Shifting your weight from foot to foot. A lot of you are already somatically intelligent people. You can just do what your body wants. Maybe interlace your fingers. I'll offer some things, but just feel free to ignore me and do whatever you want. If you want, you can interlace your fingers and reach overhead. And take some deep breaths. Lengthen through the spine. You can shift from one foot to the other, reaching through the side body. And then release the hands. This is a Qigong move where you kind of reach up to the heavens with one arm and then the other. Way to lengthen through the side body and also release the lymph that runs through the armpits and the breasts. Sometimes they teach to do 50 total. If you want, you can do that or just do as many that feels good. Make sure the neck is relaxed. And then you can spiral the arms. Sometimes we do that. Another Qigong move where you're just tapping the shoulders and the back of the body. Good. Let your head move. Looking behind you as you go from side to side. Let out sighs. What's nice about this move is that it actually kind of like squeezes your lungs naturally without you even having to breathe. Can you feel that? Yeah, and then last time, each side. And then let the arms fall by your side if you want. Then you can just let the hips join in and make circles with the hips. Let your head go. Yeah, good. Your knees can be a little bent or straight. It's up to you, whatever feels good for you. And then reverse. Let the breath be deep and just feel like you're releasing any unconscious tension in your body. Yeah. And then one nice thing to do with the knees is bring your feet together. I'll step off a little to the side so you can see my feet. Bend the knees, bring the hands above the knees, and circle the knees. So your feet are together. It's safer for the knees, yeah. Little circles with the knees. You can do 8 to 10 rounds each direction. Good. And then reverse. Keep the heels down. Good. 7, 8. Come on up. Step hip width distance apart with the feet, and then do like this wave motion. I'm not really going to do big movements because of my back, but you can exaggerate a little bit more than what I'm doing, which is just like a sarpa. Sarpa is the name of this move. It means the snake. Let the movement ripple up through the spine. You can even close your eyes and just imagine, what would it feel like if a wave machine were rippling from the soles of your feet all the way up through the legs and the back and the spine, all the way up through the crown of your head. Good. Nice. Yeah, do whatever feels good for your body. Last couple. Good. And then with your next one, come up and raise your arms overhead. Inhale, nice big in-breath. And then let the arms drop as you sigh. Let the arms flop. Again, inhale. Again. Good. Inhale. This time, you're going to inhale and then make fists and then hit your shoulders. Again, hit the shoulders. So you flop down. It's more linear. So it's like flop. So it's like the dead weight of the arms. This is how you can pound the tension out of your shoulders. I swear to God, I did this. I used to have a lot more tension in the shoulders, and I used to do this in the morning after my yoga practice. This is a marma point. They say in Ayurveda, it's like, do a couple more. It's a vital juncture point that helps to bring the prana down out of the head. Here, right? You see this? You take your hands, feel this point right here. You see this? It's right where the traps are, the trapezius. It holds a lot of tension, right? Like when you're tense, you hold that. So if you rub that, it feels really good. So when you do this movement, it helps to relax that. And it helps to bring the heat and the mental energy that gets stuck up in the head down, back down, down, down towards the earth, down into the feet. All right, now let's shake it out. Inhale. Woo, just shake it out. A couple more like that. Inhale. Woo. Last one. Inhale. Woo. Good. All right, let's come down to the ground. Find a comfortable seat or lying position. Take a moment to really set yourself up so that you feel good and ready to sit we'll do about a 30-minute sit tonight. Oh, but we haven't done our opening prayers. Ha ha ha. Okay, so that's another part of the class, which is at the beginning of each night, we do some opening prayers. And one that we've been doing very consistently is the one at the top. It's a prayer to the goddess as Narayaṇi. Everybody have a prayer sheet? Yeah? So this is one that if you come consistently, you will learn it by heart because we do it a lot. A lot of you already have. And then there's a new one. Some of you will notice this is a new sheet. So there's a new one. And this is one I want you to learn. We will do this as well on a regular basis. This one is to Shri Ganesha. It's an invocation to him. It's a very common one. A prayer said, recited at the beginning of any endeavor, whether it's a meditation practice, study, a composition, writing. So he removes obstacles to the path. So Narayaṇi, up above, this prayer, the first one, is from a great text called the Devi Mahatmya, which celebrates the goddess in many ways, I think 108 perhaps. And it's from the Hindu tradition, but my tantric Hindu teacher taught me this prayer as a prayer that celebrates the Hindu version of Tara. Tara is also a Buddhist goddess, but she is honored in the Hindu tantric tradition as well. So here, as in other also instances, if you read my book, you will learn this, there are many overlaps in Hinduism and Buddhism when you get into the world of Tantra, especially around the deities like Tara and other goddesses. So this prayer, we'll say it tonight. I won't break down the vocabulary. You'll get the hang of it pretty quickly. The English translation is below. In essence, we are paying homage, bowing to Narayaṇi, the goddess who takes away the afflictions of all. She is the refuge of the downtrodden, meaning those of us in samsara, the cycle of existence, going round and round and round, whether that's in our thought patterns or life after life, rebirth after rebirth. She is the very act of turning toward the Supreme, which I think is very beautiful in the sense that we embody her power, her Shakti, when we turn towards consciousness, absolute consciousness, that she also is that act of devotion. So she's not just a deity up there in the sky. She is that love, that devotion. We embody that when we pray to her. So I think tonight, perhaps, let's say this prayer a few times, okay? I will call the first line, you can repeat it, and then I will call the second line, you can repeat it. We'll do it like that through all 4 lines. And then we will do the whole prayer. Let's do 7 repetitions tonight. So let's take some deep breaths here and drop in and open to the blessings of the Great Mother, the Great Goddess, in her many forms, her many expressions, all around us. Her blessings are everywhere. All we need to do is open ourselves to her in our own way. And she is that opening. Śaraṇāgata dīnārtha, Śaraṇāgata dīnārtha, paritrāṇa parāyaṇe, paritrāṇa parāyaṇe, Sarvasyārti hare Devi, Sarvasyārti hare Devi, Narayaṇi namostute, Nārāyaṇi namostute. Śaraṇāgata dīnārtha paritrāṇa parāyaṇe. Sarvasyārti hare Devi Narayaṇi namostute. Śaraṇāgata dīnārtha paritrāṇa parāyaṇe. Sarvasyārti hare Devi Narayaṇi namostute. Śaraṇāgata dīnārtha paritrāṇa parāyaṇe. Sarvasyārti hare Devi Narayaṇi namostute. Śaraṇāgata dīnārtha paritrāṇa parāyaṇe. Sarvasyārti hare Devi Narayaṇi namostute. Śaraṇāgata dīnārtha paritrāṇa parāyaṇe. Sarvasyārti hare Devi Narayaṇi namostute. Śaraṇāgata dīnārtha paritrāṇa parāyaṇe. Sarvasyārti hare Devi Narayaṇi namostute. Listen. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya Sūrya koṭi samaprabha Nirvighnam kuru me deva sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Salutations to Shri Ganesha, who has a curved trunk and a large body, whose splendor is like a million suns, O Deva. Please make my undertakings free of obstacles by extending your blessings in my works always. In essence, we're praying to Ganesh to help us find our yes and keep it in samsara. I love this prayer because it describes his beauty, his large body, body positive, curved trunk. Splendor is like a million suns. Can you imagine seeing him? I mean, let's just let that in for a moment. Seeing Ganesha appear before you, curved trunk and a large body, blazing with splendor like a million suns. I mean, even just seeing one sun, let alone a million suns. Ooh, what a gift to behold. And you know it would be a kind of a light that wouldn't burn your eyes. It would be a blissful light. Oh, that would blow your mind. What a sight to behold. So we're praying to him. We're opening ourselves to him. Oh, Deva. Oh, God. That is Devas, the Sanskrit word for God or deity. Please make my undertakings free of obstacles, or be free of obstacles, perhaps. essentially we're asking, please remove all obstacles in my life by extending your blessings in my works always. So Vakra tuṇḍa is the curved trunk. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Mahā means great, kāya means body. So repeat after me. Vakra tuṇḍa. So repeat after me. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Good. So do you see the two little dots under the N and the D? That means we curl our tongue back and it touches the roof of the mouth right behind the root of the top front teeth. So it's tuṇḍa. Can you try? Tuṇḍa, tuṇḍa, tuṇḍa. Mouth yoga builds the brain cells. Tuṇḍa. Yes. So Vakra, it's not Vakra or Vakra, it's Vakra. Yeah, Vakra tuṇḍa. That's curved trunk. Vakra tuṇḍa, Vakra tuṇḍa, mahā kāya, mahā kāya. That's a great body. Sūrya koṭi, Sūrya koṭi. Good. Sūrya koṭi, Sūrya koṭi. Good. Samaprabha, samaprabha. So who knows what Sūrya means? Sun. Yes. Koṭi. Koṭi is a million. So a million suns. Samaprabha is like splendor, like shining splendor, blazing splendor. Like sama means like or the same. Prabha means to blaze or splendor. Samaprabha. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Okay, here's the mouthful. You thought it was hard up until now. Nirvighnam, Nirvighnam. You see there's a nirvi and then ghanam. There's a H after the G. Ghanam, ghanam, Nirvighnam, Nirvighnam. That means remove obstacles. Nirvighnam. Can't you feel the obstacles being removed as you work towards saying that? Nirvighnam, Nirvighnam, kuru me deva, kuru me deva. Good, you guys are good at this. Nirvighnam kuru me deva, Nirvighnam kuru me deva. Good. So Nirvighnam means, because you know, nir, does that look like a word you know? Nirvana, which means to extinguish, right? So nir is to remove, Vighnam is obstacles. So take away obstacles. In the Tara mantras, Vighnam is in there, in some of those. Kuru means actions. It's the same root as karma. Me means mine. And then deva is deva. So it's like, oh God, oh deva, please remove all my obstacles to my actions, all my endeavors. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Good. Sarva means all. Karyeshu is my works, like everything I do. Then it's karyeshu, shu. Karyeshu. That line over the A means it's two beats of ah. Karyeshu, shu, shu. Sarvada, sarvada. Sarvada means always. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Very nice. How many people already knew this prayer? A couple. Oh, it sounds like a lot of you did. You're good. Good ear, you guys. Okay, shall we recite it for a few times? Okay, do you want me to call a line and you respond? Okay. This is meditation. This is focus. Okay? So don't think like, when am I going to meditate? We will, but this is also practice. So let's treat it like practice. Okay? All right. We're honoring Ganesh. We're honoring Ganesh. He can remove your obstacles. Okay. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Nirvighnam kuru me deva. Nirvighnam kuru me deva. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Good. I think you're ready to do it together. Let's do it for a while together. Maybe we'll do 11 repetitions. All right? Okay, take a breath. If you ever need to kind of pull out and read the English, take a breath or two, and then jump back in, feel free to do that, okay? And here we go. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Nirvighnam kuru me deva. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Nirvighnam kuru me deva. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Nirvighnam kuru me deva. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Nirvighnam kuru me deva. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Nirvighnam kuru me deva. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Nirvighnam kuru me deva. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Nirvighnam kuru me deva. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Nirvighnam kuru me deva. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Nirvighnam kuru me deva. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Nirvighnam kuru me deva. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Nirvighnam kuru me deva. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Listening to your body, finding your yes, no need to deny that. Finding the spaciousness within this area that you've made for yourself, and then allow yourself to claim that space and settle in and then take a few deep abdominal breaths, drawing the breath deeply in as if you're pouring water into the vase of your torso, filling the torso with the breath, and then releasing with the out-breath, allowing the breath to exit the torso like water pouring out of the vase. Drawing in the breath, feel the abdomen drawing forward slightly as you breathe in, and then gently releasing back towards the spine as you breathe out. Letting the mind rest at the belly. The breath gently flowing in, the belly moves forward. The breath traveling out, the belly draws gently back without forcing, a natural ebb and flow. And noticing any extraneous layers of tension, perhaps subtle tension held in the face, the muscles around the eyes, or the forehead, softening with each out-breath. Muscles around the jaw, softening. You can let the lower molars release away from the upper molars, the jaw softening. And lengthen the back of the neck, the chin slightly drawing down. And feel that tug at the base of the skull, lengthening the spine. And the sits bones rooting down into the seat. or the sacrum softening if you're lying down against the cushion. If you're lying, let the body surrender to the floor and the support of the floor. Wherever you are, feel that any holding isn't necessary apart from that natural alignment of the plumb line through the spine, or the natural structure of the skeleton that holds you up. And then release tension with the out-breath. And when you find that plumb line, it's a somatic yes. The nervous system can lock in a homeostasis. And then the healing can occur and the body can do what it knows how to do. The mind, as much as possible, is resting at the rise and the fall of the belly. Let that be your anchor. Maybe you can feel sensations of the clothes against your waist, or even just the warmth within the belly, whatever feels most tangible or nourishing for you. See if even you can let the mind, the mental awareness descend like down a ladder, down through the torso, to rest in this area that you might not inhabit very much. The belly, the intuitive center, maybe more of that gut feeling, but without giving much thought, just feel the awareness descending down to the belly, the center of your mandala, the hara. And then just remain as much as possible with the sensations as the breath draws in and out, mindful breathing, releasing any control of the breath. No need to lengthen or deepen. If you've seen a baby sleeping in its crib or in the bed, it's such a beautiful, natural breath. Let that be your teacher of how to breathe in meditation. An easeful, natural breath. And the mind is unifying as much as possible with the simplicity of this rise and fall of the breath. It might rebel against that. It's okay, just with each breath, you can soften around that agitation or distraction. It's normal. And then let it soften back into the belly. like a fall leaf falling off the tree, fluttering down, down to the earth. Let the mind release back down to the breath. Primary practice with this simple yet not so easy, true and tested technique of mindfulness of breathing is to, when you notice the mind grasping and lost in thought, is to simply see it and label thought or thinking with a light touch. And then come back to the breath, the anchor at the belly. Sometimes it's at the nostrils, sometimes it's the whole body. Today, I'm inviting you to rest your awareness at the abdomen. Simply label thinking and then come back. That's all you need to do. Again and again and again. And then soften. And see if you can release into this feeling of presence. Letting yourself just be. Into this depth of being, the wellspring of the infinite feeling of satisfaction. But we need presence. We need to be able to stay in order to drop in. So simply notice distraction, label, thinking, and come back again to the breath. And stay as much as you can. And now, for the last few minutes of meditation, I'd like to invite you to slowly open your eyes if they have been closed, and gently cast them at a downward angle, a comfortable angle just past the nose, gazing towards the floor, but without staring or fixedly staring at any point. Soften the gaze instead. It's said to gaze like lantern consciousness rather than spotlight consciousness. So a soft, diffuse awareness as if you could see to either side, even feeling like you could see all around you, 360 degrees. Soften the eyes. Feel free to blink from time to time if you need to. And let the mind rest in its own nature, limpid, clear. Settle the mind in its natural state, free of grasping, free of distraction, in its own place. Let the mind simply rest. So the awareness of the breath can still be there, but it's no longer the main anchor. Now you've shifted the anchor of your mindfulness to the domain of the mind itself. No big deal. You're always aware of the mind to one degree or another. Now you're just becoming aware that you're aware. It's as if you could see thoughts entering from stage left or stage right, above or below, playing themselves out like players on the stage. Rather than getting wrapped up in the storyline, see if you can just observe them coming and going. Let them arise and pass. And maintain this awareness of the space within which thoughts, feelings, sensations are appearing and passing. Stabilize that awareness. This is called settling the mind in its natural state. And we do this by resting free of distraction, free of clinging or grasping, relaxed, at ease. Just rest. And then gently allow your eyes to close again and just notice the feeling within and around you. This feeling of non-dual nature of the mind being neither only in or out, within you or outside of you alone. And let yourself rest without effort. This non-meditation, meditation. It's a true meditation, in fact. The non-meditation meditation. There's a great book by Dujim Lingpa called Buddhahood Without Meditation. It's, as long as we're sitting here thinking, I am meditating, then you're not meditating. It's not real meditation. So often a lot of people say, wow, that was the best part of my meditation was when you said, let it all go. It makes me think, wow, I'm not teaching very well, am I? But of course, we need technique, right? We need the structure to enjoy the letting go of the structure a little bit, yeah. Okay, my friends, how are you? How did that feel? Any questions coming out of practice? Any comments? And if you don't feel like talking, I completely understand that too. Thank you, Hannah, for keeping people cold so that they don't fall asleep. I remember a couple times it's been so hot in here, everybody's like barely able to stay awake. You don't have a chant sheet. How did it go? Just mouthing the words.
It's one way to learn.
Yeah, it's the old school way. Yeah, it's how I learned a lot. Yes, and please share your name before you share.
Ron, I'm sorry.
Ron.
Was that
Okay.
actually 35 minutes?
No, that was, that was about 27. I'm never, listen, I'm not, because we did all that chanting, like tonight I had to teach you a new chant. I won't go into that much detail every night. So I'm always playing a little stretching time.
The only reason I asked
Yes.
is this is the first time I've actually done this on a cushion without a back jack.
Oh.
And so I was
You're like
expecting it to be a lot more.
Yeah.
Like harder. Like I was so glad, relieved that it was 27 minutes. But
when the bell.
I was surprised. That I got through it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, more isn't better sometimes, right? You're like, yes.
Yes.
I know. I mentioned Alan Wallace, my mentor. He discovered in his work with a great tantric text called the Kala Chakra Tantra. It's called the Wheel of Time Tantra. A segment of time. It's very classic in astrology, and it's the 24-hour, the 24 segment of time. 24 minutes, 24 hours. We have 24 hours in the day. But 24 minutes is a wonderful amount of time to practice anything, really, but practice meditation, because they say it's the length of time that it takes the prana, the subtle energy within the body, to cycle one complete round, one complete cycle through our body system. So he would often teach retreats in where we do sits for 24-minute segments. And he'd ring the bell. When he would be introducing a new practice, maybe we'd just do one gatika. It's called a gatika. Gatika. We do one gatika. He'd give a talk, and then we do a gatika. As the retreat would progress, we'd do 2 gatikas back to back. He would ring the bell after the first one, give us 30 seconds or so to switch positions if we needed to. We would go, maybe we'd start here, and then we'd have the option to lie down for the second gatika. Or maybe you just kind of want to, itch or something. Then ring, and then you go back into your next gatika. So that'd be 48 minutes. Sometimes we'd do 3 gatikas back to back. 5 gatikas is 2 hours. It's a very nice time for a complete practice. So 24 minutes at home run, maybe you could try that and feel good about it. It's just a nice amount of time to get something happening. It's just enough time to feel like, I got cooked. It's a good cooking time. But it's not so long that you're like, oh my God, I don't think I can do it. Oh, I don't want to sit down because it's too long. Try 24 minutes or 27.
Thank you. I do 30 all the time, but I use a backpack. And
sure. Yeah. At least 24. Yeah. At least 24, because you've gotten one cycle and then some. Yeah. Okay, good. Anyone else? Yes. Please share your name.
David.
Damon? David.
Yeah. I felt like, not for a long time, but for a little while, I was wrestling with an itch.
It's a bummer, isn't it?
Right.
They have the itches hijack us, don't they? You're like, God, I'd be really having a great meditation if it wasn't for this itch. Go ahead.
But I want to challenge myself.
Of course.
Not scratch it.
Mm-hmm.
And get back to nothing. Get back to.
You're never going to get back to nothing. Okay.
Noticing that that's
Yeah.
a thought
Yeah.
or some experience that I'm having.
Yeah.
It'll be okay, right? It'll just be okay. And I think it did quiet down. And I felt a little proud of myself for not scratching it for some reason. So many times I've just,
Yeah. Good. Yeah, and that reinforces itself. You learn, it's true, it's a common practice. You realize, oh yeah, I don't need to do that. It will go away. Not easy sometimes, because the mind will play tricks on us. It won't go away. It won't go away. That's nice though. That's these little wins. They teach us. Now you'll have confidence next time that comes around. Yeah. Yes. Hi.
Hi,
Bogdana.
I think very related experience, but for me, it felt like tightness in the heart.
Yeah.
And the more I try to release it, it's felt like it's even more constraining.
Yeah. Yes. So then what happened? The bell rang? Or you ignored it? No.
I just sat with it.
You sat with it? Yeah.
And it came up with, I guess, the obstacles in Ganesha.
Ah.
Sort of maybe connecting more with that.
So did you turn towards the prayer?
What happened for me was that when the bell rang, I was feeling sad. It almost felt like, oh, I wish it was longer. I could feel more sit longer with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was grasping towards it, even though it was not feeling good. But there was some sort of feeling.
Was it like you finally felt like you had the key to work with it and you were getting to that and then the bell rang? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like maybe yeah, some sort of feeling of sadness of I'm passing very fast.
Yeah. That's actually good. You know, they say quit while you're ahead kind of thing. It's good to leave the dinner party while you're having fun, right? Because the hosts will invite you back. It's a good attitude to have when you sit. Like, don't overstay the sit. Of course, the sit could have been longer. It can always be, maybe, you know, but it's nice because then you want to sit back down. You were having fun. Oh my God. So now you want to do it again. Whereas if you overstay, you're kind of like, I don't know if I want to go back, right? But that's really sweet about the turning towards the Ganesha prayer, the Nirvighnam, right? Kuru me deva, oh deva, oh Ganesh, deva. Please help remove this obstacle here. You can do that. That's what these prayers are for. And who, you know, when we open ourselves to these energies that are beyond us, then the potential is beyond us. We open to potentials beyond our limited mind. I've had amazing things happen with Ganesh. I had scary things that were about to happen to me, and I prayed to Ganesh, and I feel like he saved me. I imagined his big trunk clearing the way to safety. I'm not kidding you guys. And I know he did. That scary person went away. Can I prove it? No, but I know. So you need to have those experiences yourself, but you need to have faith and you need to develop a relationship. And you did. You just did. You turned towards, like how the Narayaṇi prayer is, that turning towards. That's where the magic is. So you have that. I see you. You've always had that. You water those seeds within you. You believe in that. Yeah. That's your yes, you know. You find those areas and water those seeds of yes, you know. I don't mean to be like cheesy with this thing about the yes, but I mean it's an interesting thing to feel into. Like we ignore sometimes these epiphanies or these gifts that are given to us. And then we keep going along like, oh, but where are the other gifts? You know, but the gift was just given, you know. I know I'm stubborn about taking out my big fat earring. Okay, I did it. I Nirvighnam. I took out the obstacle. The big curved trunk. He's so cute. Isn't Ganesh cute? He was just a little boy, you know, and Lord Shiva came home. Ganesh wouldn't let Shiva come into Parvati's bath while she was bathing, and he got all pissed off and he chopped off Ganesh's head. He didn't know he was his son. You guys have to read Ganesha's story. It's a crazy story. It's a good one. And then Parvati's like, talk about being pissed off at your husband. You just chopped off our son's head. What were you thinking? And so to make it better, he traveled all around and he's like, I'll find us a head. I'll find us a head. Which head? This one? No. I don't know exactly how, but she said either get me an elephant head or he brought back the elephant. He said, there's this beautiful elephant who just died or is dying. How about this? She said, yes, I want the elephant head. So then he took the elephant, or the elephant donated her head or something like that. And he put the elephant head. Maybe somebody else in the room knows the story better than I do, but that's how the beautiful boy got the Ganesha head, got the got the elephant head. I love these stories. Nirvighnam, Vignam, Vigneshvara. His other name is the Lord who removes obstacles. Ishvara is Lord. Ishvara. Vigneshvara. He's the one who removes obstacles. He is real, people. Vakra tuṇḍa mahā kāya. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Sūrya koṭi samaprabha. Nirvighnam kuru me deva. Nirvighnam kuru me deva. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. There. It's going to happen. All of your obstacles will be removed. May it be so. All right. That's a joke. I'm not making promises. Okay. So, my friends. So, with this theme of finding our yes within samsara, when the mind can get still and drop into its clarity, its natural stillness, its natural limpidity, because yes, the premise of Dharma, the Buddha Dharma, contemplative traditions around the world, but my vantage point is the Buddhist tradition, is that our natural state is good, is clear, is radiant, is loving. It's not sinful, it's not bad, but our natural state is actually already perfect just as it is. That is the biggest fucking yes I've ever heard, right? So through meditation practice, if we can learn to drop the artifices, drop the delusion, drop the confusion, the self-hatred, the self-doubt, the ignorance of our true nature, all of these things that we've just acquired through lifetimes and lifetimes of karmas and all of this blah, 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 blah. The story. We're never going to understand the story, everybody. So therapy's great. I've done it a lot. Done a lot of therapy. I'm sure a lot of you have too. We're never going to totally be done. We're never going to know the whole story. And there's a certain point where we're going to just need to naturally liberate it. It's called rangdrol in Tibetan. There's a, you know what I'm saying? Because we're never, even the Buddha on the eve of his enlightenment, he looked back, he couldn't see the end of all of his lives. He looked forward, he couldn't see the end of all of his future lives. Well, of course, he's Buddha, so he's gone beyond samsara, but he couldn't see the end of the world systems. He couldn't see the beginning of world systems. He said, it's not even worth looking. I'm looking now. There's an old saying in Buddhism. If you want to know your past lives, look at your current life. Look at your current situation. If you want to know your future lives, look at your current situation. How are you acting right now? You are reaping the past karmas right now. You are sowing the future karmas right now. This is all we have to attend to right now, our garden right now. It's all we can really control, in air quotes. Okay, so dropping into our essential goodness. That's what we can do through practice, through meditation. Let the artifices unravel so we can find that natural state that is whole, that is good, that ultimate wellspring of satisfaction. That's what we've been looking for. We're not going to get it on Amazon. Believe me, I've tried. Every time I'm like, oh yeah, oh, that's what I want. Oh, wait, no. Oh, right, I gotta get that. Of course, we need some stuff, but the ultimate satisfaction is somehow getting quiet, somehow dropping in. It might not be Dharma for you, it might be something else, but some kind of wisdom teaching that helps you go to the wellspring of what's in here. Deep, 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 and dropping beneath the duality, beneath the hope and the fear, the grasping, the aversion, that push and pull. And that's what the Buddha 2,600 years ago offered to us. That's what great masters and teachers offer us. That's what the Diamond Sutra offers us. That's what many of these great texts offer us. Lojong, mind training, offer us. So that is kind of the ultimate level yes, right? When I'm talking about finding our yes in the midst of samsara, well, we can come at this from a lot of different ways. So I wanted to give you the big view first. From the vantage point of Dharma, you have the absolute level, which is dropping into the wellspring of your Buddha nature, aka the big fat yes. Okay, you get it? Buddha nature, aka the big fat yes. Pretty easy to remember. But then we have relative level life. Like there's Eric over here who has, does he like chocolate? Not so much. Same. Like I like it, but I don't know, I can't handle it anymore. Who likes chocolate? What's your name?
Ashley.
Okay, so Ashley. Chocolate is a yes for Ashley. Let's just, for the sake of facility, chocolate is maybe a no for Eric, right? So we've got the yes, the relative level yes, chocolate over here, relative level no is for Eric over here. So we've got relative level yeses and nos are happening all the time over here. Some people are a yes for you, some people are a no for you, right? We have the gut. That's why I wanted to do the belly meditation today, because your homework this week is feeling your yeses and your nos as you're walking around the world, like that person's a no, or like, oh, that person's a yes, And what does your yes feel like? What does your no feel like? A lot of us don't even know, especially when we're young and stupid, right? Like I'm 51. God, if I knew how to touch into my yes and my no the way I do now when I was 20, God, that would have been so great, right? I know now it's my gut. My gut tells me. I mean, the head and the heart, they're pretty smart. They're pretty good. But for me, it's the gut, usually, with people. But it might not be that for you. I get a visceral thing of like, oh. And then when I think retrospectively, I'm like, I knew. But then my head overrode it. How many people know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Gosh, if we only learned how to listen to our instinct, when I'm talking about gut, like my instinct here, like in elementary school, like, okay, everybody, lesson 101 and listening to your gut. That could have been cool. And then we would do mindfulness meditation in order to do that. So that is sort of like your homework, like daily meditation maybe would be nice. And then like when you go around the world, go around your life this week, go around the world in a week and come back and tell me, maybe we'll talk about it next week, like your yeses and your nos. So in the last couple minutes, I actually want to do an exercise with you right now. Let's drop in. Let's close our eyes. And take some deep breaths into your belly. And so we've talked about like the absolute level, yes is this wellspring of your Buddha nature, your true satisfaction. So that's always the backdrop of this. But now we're going to sort of play a little bit with this relative level, yeses and the nos, like your own individual karmic, unique preferences and dislikes. This is what we're going to sort of practice a little bit or play with right now, this relative level, yeses and nos, the likes and dislikes, and how do we feel that? So think of a time, we're going to do the no first, okay? So think of a time recently, it doesn't have to be a big deal or some dramatic thing. Just think of a time recently when you had a very clear feeling of no. Might have been with a person or a situation or a flavor of food or a drink. And then, does everybody have that? You can nod. You don't have to open your eyes. You just nod. I want to look at you. You can keep your eyes closed, but just nod. Does everybody have a no? Yeah, okay. Okay, so feel where that is in your body. Like, where do you feel that no in your body? And what did it feel like? Just think about that. What was its texture, its location, its temperature, its shape? Kind of like feeding your demons, you know, if you've done that, like just feel it in your body. And then now, let's switch gears and think about a recent time when you felt a very clear yes. Might have been a flavor, it might have been a person, a feeling, a situation. And then feel where that is in your body. Where do you feel the yes in your body? How was that communicated to you in your body? Where was that signal? And what was the sensation? The texture? Temperature? Shape? And then just notice the difference between the two, you know, the no and the yes. Were they in different parts of your body? And just noticing that, like, okay, how does your body communicate the yes and the no to you? And just tell your body and your mind and your heart that you're listening. Like, okay, I'm paying attention. And I'm doing all of that within the backdrop of like meditative, mindful presence as much as possible. Like I'm listening. And it's okay. I've got your back. I'm not going to abandon you in this, right? I'm here with you. Because all of this is welcome here, right? It's all a part of me. It's all a part of my Buddha nature. No part of me is left out. It's all coming home sooner or later. Just let that go, dissolve that. And just take some breaths now and really feel your central axis now. Like feel as if you have this central funnel, like a central axis, like a shushumna, is the yogic term of this central channel, also called avaduti. Central channel. This is another way of feeling this source of non-dual presence, the ultimate home ground, the yes, and the duality of the yes and the no unify and collapse into the non-dual state in this central axis. See if you can breathe in and out, up and down this central channel. Usually the inhale draws down to the root and the exhale releases up to the crown. Take 3 breaths like this. Inhaling from the crown of the head down through the central channel that runs along the front of the spine, down to the core, the root, perineal floor, and then exhale, the breath awareness draws up along the central channel, up to the crown chakra. Inhale, drawing the breath down through the central channel, slowly down through the throat, the heart, through the solar plexus, the navel, to the pelvis and the root. Last breath. Exhale, releasing the breath as it travels back up through the torso, through the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, through the skull, up to the crown. And with this last inhalation, let's inhale the breath back down through the throat, down into the heart, and rest the mind at the heart chakra. And let's stay here. Inhale and exhale through the heart center. A couple breaths. This is the heart of bodhicitta, the compassionate heart, where we connect with all beings everywhere. This feeling of the interrelated, interconnected, empty fullness of love and compassion. And it's from this heart space that we'll dedicate the merit of any positive energy that we've cultivated as a mandala, as a sangha together for the benefit of all beings everywhere. If you wish, you can bring your hands together and make your own personal prayers. I ring the bell 3 times. Thank you, everybody. It's nice to be here with you again. There's one announcement I'd like to make. I just opened a new course that I'm doing online on the foundations of non-dual Buddhist Tantra. It's a series that's a long-term study group in 2 sections, 2 6-month sections that span 1 year. And I'm very excited about this. We'll talk about the origins, the evolution of Tantra in Buddhism. And we will also follow a very beautiful text that's a long poem that teaches us about practice, the foundations of meditation and Buddhist Tantra. So if that's something you're interested in, you can go learn more about it on my website, chandraeaston.com. It's almost half full. It starts on October 8th. So don't delay if that's something you're interested in. It's on Tuesday mornings is one group and Wednesday evenings is another group. It's online. So other than that, I will be here next week. Thank you. Hannah will not be here next week. She will be on the road on the playa. And how many other people are going to be on the playa? No? No burners? Wow, good. Well, you'll be here with me, I hope. All right. Well, you'll have to report back. I always like hearing about it. I've never been, but I like hearing about it. All right, my friends, have a great week. Feeling your yeses. And of course, knowing your yes also means knowing your no. And we can talk more about that as well. So take care, everybody. Have some tea, enjoy community out there. The Alembic is very much a community-based place, and we also thrive on our volunteer community as well. If you'd like to learn more about that, ask Hannah here. She's our wonderful, what's your title here? The Operations Director. She's amazing. And how many people volunteer here? Yeah, so you can all raise your hands higher. So if you don't mind being approached too, it's fun to talk to folks who have volunteered as well. Thanks again. Take care. Good night. Ciao, ciao. I try to end on time, but sometimes I go five-ish minutes late. I'm just warning you. I try not to do too much. Bye. See you. Yes.
I'm Carson.
Carson, that's right. Yeah, I knew you looked familiar. Yes. Oh my gosh, good to see you in person. I thought you looked familiar. Yeah. You made it, yeah. And you.